everyone, I'm Jessica, and today I'll be talking about sexual minorities, particularly demisexuality, scoliosexuality, gray sexuality, and autosexuality. So as we all know, in the 21st century, people are becoming more open and accepting of sexual minorities. However, there still isn't a lot known. So there does need to be more research and open discussions surrounding sexual minorities. And with that, demisexuality. So this is the demisexuality flag, and demisexuality means that you do not experience sexual attraction or desire until you have formed a close emotional bond with someone. Now, just because you have that bond with someone, that doesn't mean you're automatically sexually attracted. It's just a prerequisite. And because demisexual people do experience limited sexual attraction, they are on the asexual spectrum. As far as stigma goes, it's mostly from the myths surrounding demisexuality, such as, oh, you're just a late bloomer, it's just an admirable choice, or you're simply covering up the fact that you're gay. And of course, this can affect them getting into a relationship because if the partner doesn't approve of the sexuality, and it can also hinder their personal acceptance. And for representation, so there is not a lot of representation for demisexuality. However, viewers of the popular TV show The Big Bang Theory suspect that its lead, Sheldon Cooper, was demisexual because he only displayed sexual attraction when he got really close to his girlfriends. Now keep in mind, this is a very popular TV show, so even if for one episode they addressed Sheldon's demisexuality, that would spark conversation and bring awareness to demisexuality, but the show is over, so we'll never know. And now for scoliosexuality, this is the scoliosexuality flag, and scoliosexuality means that you are attracted to transgender individuals. So that could be trans men, trans women, intersex, non-binary people, anybody under that umbrella. Now, you may find just one transgender person attractive. That doesn't make you scoliosexual. You have to think to yourself that you are attracted to the body of a transgender person. Now, we all know that transgender people have experienced discrimination for years, so that does tie into the stigmas of being scoliosexual. However, the main stigma they face is cisgender, or those who identify with their biological sex, as cisgender people fetishizing over transgender people, and it is seen, unfortunately, in television and the media, people fetishizing over them, which does, of course, hinder the positive representation or any representation of scoliosexuality. And with that, autosexuality. So this is the autosexual flag, and autosexuality means that you are attracted mostly to yourself and you're aroused by yourself. So that means that you prefer to engage in activity just by yourself and just even simply staring at the mirror. But you can still be in a committed relationship. It's just that when you have sex, you're mostly focused on your body and looking at yourself. So for representation, there is not a lot of representation on autosexuality, although they do have internet sites where they can talk and just feel valid. And for stigmas, there really is a big stigma with autosexuality because people associate it with narcissism. And with that, gray sexuality. So this is the gray sexuality flag, and this is the hardest one to describe out of the 4 sexualities I have now listed, because the definition varies for everybody. But think of gray as in, between black and white. Gray sexuality is basically between allosexuality and asexuality. Allosexuality means that you do experience regular sexual attraction, and it really is different for everybody. Some people might experience sexual attraction once a year, a couple times a month. It's just very infrequent. And the stigmas they face is that they feel that they can't be a part of the LGBT community because the LGBT community rejects them. They feel like they aren't a part of them. And then obviously the straight community doesn't want them either. That as representation goes, in The Walking Dead, another television series, this character Daryl is suspected to be gray sexual, but again, just like with the Big Bang Theory, it was never addressed. And if it was addressed, it would spark that conversation and increase awareness, but we don't know. And with that, ultimately, sexual minorities, they do have it better than they did just 50 years ago, but they are still a very vulnerable group. Thank you for listening to my presentation.